Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohammad Adam.
And I'm Mohammad Afifzikry, and we will be your news presenter for today.
I will present about the location of Singapore. Singapore is a small island country located in Southeast Asia. It lies at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, just above the equator. This means Singapore has a tropical climate, which is generally hot and humid throughout the year. In terms of its geographical position, Singapore is separated from Malaysia by the Johor Strait to the north, and from Indonesia by the Singapore Strait to the south. It is connected to Malaysia by a bridge called the Singapore Causeway. Although Singapore is a small country, it is made up of main island and over 60 small islands. Its strategic location along major shipping routes has made it an important global trade and transportation hub.
Singapore, also known for their well-governing system where operates under a parliamentary republic system. This means that while there is a president, the main executive power lies with the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. The President of Singapore serves as the head of state. Although the role is largely ceremonial, the President holds important powers in safeguarding national reserves and approving key public service appointments. The Prime Minister, currently Lawrence Wong, is the head of government. He leads the cabinet, which is responsible for making and implementing national policies. Singapore's parliament is unicameral, meaning it has only one legislative chamber. Members of parliament are elected by citizens and are responsible for debating laws, approving budget, and representing the people. In addition, Singapore practices centralized governance, allowing for quick decision-making and effective implementation of policies in areas such as housing, healthcare, and economic development. Now, let's hear about Singaporean language from Syed.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and good day viewers. Let's do a quick challenge. I'm going to say a sentence and you tell me, what language is this? Eh bro, can you help me or not? Later we makan lah, okay? English, Malay, Chinese? The answer is all of them. Welcome to Singapore, where languages don't just exist side by side, they mix. Today, we'll explore the language landscape of Singapore, a country with 4 official languages: English, Malay, Mandarin Chinese, and Tamil. Now, here's the twist. Even though Malay is the national language of Singapore, the one you will hear most often is actually English, used in schools, offices, businesses, and even news reporting. But on the street, things get more interesting. Okay, so let me show you an example. We are here with a local. Can you show us how people really talk in Singapore?
Hey yo, easy one lah. Just talk, don't be shy, can or not?
So, that is Singlish, Singapore's unofficial but very popular among the Singaporeans. It's a mix of English with Malay, Chinese dialect with Tamil, short, expressive, and sometimes very confusing. But don't worry, in formal situation, Singaporeans still use standard English, especially in school and official settings. At the same time, the government encourages people to speak their mother tongue language. For example, Mandarin Chinese is widely used among the Chinese community, while Tamil is spoken within the Indian community. So, what does this tell us? Singapore is not just multilingual, it is a place where language reflects a country, culture, and everyday life. So, next time you hear someone say can or not, or just go on with lah, now you knew exactly where it might come from. Reporting from Southeast Asia Studies, this is Syed Aiman. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Syed, for the report.
Now, let's hear from Aidil about Singapore traditional attire.
Good evening viewers. I'm Aidil reporting for a Singaporean attire. So, we will look like Singapore is a known of a multicultural society. So, it has many and rich diversity in its clothing styles, influenced by its major ethnic group like Malay, Chinese, also Indians. Let's begin with the Malay attire. The baju kurung is commonly worn by a woman, a loose-fitting blouse paired with a long skirt, known for its elegance and modesty. Men, in the other hand, wear baju Melayu, typically accompanied by a samping and a traditional cap, called songkok. Moving to the Chinese society, the iconic cheongsam, also known as Qipao, is a figure worn by a woman, often during Chinese New Year or formal occasion. For men, traditional wear includes the cheongsam, though it is less commonly seen today. In the Indian community, women often wear the sari, a beautifully draped fabric that symbolizes grace and cultural heritage. Men may wear the kurta or dhoti, especially during festivals in the Deepavali. What makes Singapore truly unique is how they are diverse in style of coexist with modern fashion. In daily life, most Singaporeans dress in contemporary, casual clothing suited with the country's warm and humid climates. Things like fabrics, short sleeve, and comfortable design. In recent years, there has also been a growing trend of blending traditional elements with modern style, creating what is called a fusion fashion. So that's all for the culture segments with Aidil. So let's moving on to the next.
Thank you, Aidil, for the report.
Now we will hear about monetary from Arif Hakimi.
Yes, thank you, Afif. Okay, good evening, everyone. Into the reports, we take a closer look at Singapore's monetary system and how it manages the value of its currency. Singapore uses Singapore dollar or SGD. The system is managed by Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is responsible for both monetary policy and financial regulation. Unlike many countries that mainly use interest rate to control inflation, Singapore focuses on managing its exchange rates. This means the value of Singapore dollar is controlled against a group of major world currency within set policy range. The exact range is not publicly shared, but it is adjusted over time depending on economic condition. The main reason for this approach is Singapore's economy. The country imports most of its essential goods, including food, fuel, and raw materials. However, there is trade-off. A stronger currency can make Singapore export more expensive global markets, which may affect export businesses. So Singapore balances two goals: keeping prices stable at home and staying competitive in international trade. The country also maintains a strong and tightly regulated financial system to support overall stability. In summary, Singapore's monetary system is built around exchange rates management with the goal of maintaining low inflation and economic stability. That is a look at Singapore's monetary system and how its currency policy supports economic stability.
Thank you, Arif Hakimi, for the report.
Now, let's hear from Danish about Singapore economy.
Alright, for the last one, here's the current economic conditions for the Singapore. Singapore economy is stable but facing some difficulty or a challenge that the country is strong in areas like finance, trade and technology. Many global companies continue to invest in Singapore because of its safe environments and strong economic systems. However, economic conditions is slower compared to before. This is mainly due to the global issues such as inflation and weaker demand for other countries. As a result, export and manufacturing activities have reduced slightly. At the same time, the cost of living in Singapore remain high. Price for goods, housing and transport are still increasing, which can affect the daily life of the society. To improve these situations, the government is focusing on the digital economy, green developments and creating more job opportunities. They are also supporting businesses and helping workers upgrade their skills. In conclusion here, Singapore economy is still strong but they need to careful planning is needed to handle current challenges. This is all from me. Thank you.
That's all from us.
Salam satu Malaysia, salam Malaysia Malaya.
Assalamualaikum.